Okay, so today on our first impromptu episode of the GorillaSquadCast, we are not only featuring myself, of course, but also the boy and the man, Don Lemon himself, Elijahillustrates podcast. That's his full name. Look it up. And also, of course, we have original zesty sauce from Chipotle. Thank you for being here. And also known as Brandon Szymanski, also known as descendant of a very particular person from World War II. So, gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for being here today. We are here to discuss Batman, the new Batman movie. And
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the
boy.
thing people do when they land in a plane, just clap. Just before we get into this, we're doing this live. We're doing video as well.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous time in human history.
Thank you for having me, Pat Boy. I appreciate it.
It's
course, my
amazing
man.
how you're no longer a human. You just turned into a piece of cloth with lettering and a symbol on it.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
Pretty impressive. You know, Brandon Savitsky from Russia. Tell me about why Putin is doing what he's doing. Okay.
Listen, Putin.
All right, so I don't know why you're like answering. I didn't fucking ask. You're just interjecting in the middle of the fucking conversation.
A short answer. You're just like, well, you see, the whole dichotomy of Russia is really complex, and I just, a shake and bake in the morning, really. Putin forgot to get his energy booster butter. Yeah.
Energy booster butter. Yes. All right, so this is, again, just to reiterate and recap, we're going over Batman today. This is the very first episode of the GorillaSquadCast that is live action, as well as, of course, on digital fronts. Right. So, I wanted to open up, gentlemen, by saying thank you for being here. Brandon, this is your first time being on the GorillaSquadCast. Welcome. You are a zany individual, a Nordic
Welcome, Brandon.
cunt, if you will, right? Or Scandinavian prick, as Elijah Illustrates podcast would mention.
That's my favorite insult of all time. That's a rabbit hole, but that's the best thing.
I go by like a one Nordic god, but there one was by
I can't hear you, young man.
do I.
Just see your beard.
He's just like,
Babauska, labidi labidi.
Brandon,
What do you mean you can't hear me?
it's a little hard to hear you, my man.
Huh?
You want to just talk closer to your microphone? Just implodes with the fucking...
Jumps down. Oh,
All right. So,
I know how to get him back.
Oh wow, you got me.
It works.
Wait, I can get his
Hi,
attention.
welcome.
Wait.
See it work.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, get that.
We know how to
Go
get
chase
you.
it. Chase the laser.
I
yeah.
could see the fucking red light reflect off of his face.
Chase
How are
the
you
fucking
doing
laser.
that?
Go ahead, do the laser.
God.
Do the laser. Do the laser.
The last man that did the laser with me. Anyways, Batman.
Yeah. So Batman, gentlemen.
What about it?
So I know that we all happen to have had the same plan and mindset to see it separately, and then we all talked yesterday. We were like, "Yo, wait, did you see Batman? Did you see Batman?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to see it right now." And like, so everybody's like, "It's Batman time." And so,
I wonder who saw it first?
I don't know who did. Who saw it first
Brandon.
between you two? Brandon.
Because I saw it before you did on the same day, and then Brandon at that point had already seen it, so he must have been first.
Yeah, I definitely was first then. Yeah, I saw it on opening day.
No.
Brandon's just getting shot down like a fucking nuke
Well, I
today.
mean-
Like,
We're trying to prevent
what
nuclear
else?
war, so that's how that happens.
I'm sorry, Brandon. I didn't mean to abuse you on my podcast this time.
It'd
but
be that way sometimes. I'm new, so it's fair.
it's okay.
That's true.
Listen,
That's
your-
true.
Brandon, your eyes. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
look at those
So-
beautiful blue eyes right there. They look like the ocean that the Viking traversed to go
Yeah.
fight the Native Americans.
They did
Ruined
and
their
they
lives.
Also took on,
Yep.
They also took on the Russians and the Poland people as well. They definitely fought them too.
We don't really talk about 1942 to 45 or whatever. Sorry, 39 to 45. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, you don't talk about numbers, James Hudson.
Yeah,
You
so
don't
anyway.
talk about numbers.
You should be using that and not swinging it around.
Yeah, so it's falling off. I gotta fix that.
Yeah, mine does
Can
that
I
too. It's
have
okay.
one of those?
I do the twisty. So, gentlemen, I saw it last night as well, in addition to you guys, and man, that was the best Batman movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
And
Hands
you
down.
thought James Patterson was going to be a really bad one, but here we are.
James Franco, yeah.
Yep.
James Hudson was
Dude,
Batman.
I was so confused. Like, who's James Patterson? I'm like, wait a minute.
No, he was great.
Like, is
and-
that the name of the Riddler? What?
And I actually brought my date to see it, and she's not very into like superhero stuff.
Who's your date?
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah, who's
going
your
to
date,
ever
big
discuss
guy?
that publicly,
Here we
but
go.
thank you.
Ooh,
So I
I
brought
bet
my.
she's got a temple.
The
Ooh,
real take.
ooh.
Did you even watch the movie, or were you too busy?
Yes, Brandon. Brandon, you look like
He was watching
an
something.
upside down ice cream,
Showing.
strawberry ice cream cone. Okay,
I am. That's me.
that's me.
You're-
So,
James, let
What
me
do
ask you
think-
something.
What do you think the girl that was joining me at the movies was focusing on?
the movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you walked into that.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's nice. Guess who I saw it with? A guy I didn't know who sat a couple of rows down from me, who kept fucking snoring. For some reason, this guy was breathing abnormally the whole film, and I just kept looking over at him.
Listen, I told you to let the man masturbate in peace, but you're just like, no, let me rave about him.
Yeah, no, this guy's 2 seats down from me, and you're saying he's masturbating? And
If he
I'm the
wants to
bad guy?
masturbate at the Batman movie, let him masturbate. Damn. It's freaking
Well, you know, that's cool. Just masturbate at least 3 seats down from me.
Well, you know, maybe he wanted you to watch, you know? Maybe he likes he's a voyeur, you know? He likes
Well,
the,
no, I'll tell you what he likes, okay? At the very end of the film, okay?
Discounts
at
at
the
Lazy
very
Boy.
end. Do you know what he said? No, better than Lazy Boy Discounts. Shout out. This man, the second the credits rolled in, the second the movie ended, you know what he said?
He said Bob's Home Furnishing. Is what he said.
Close. He said Batman. He said Batman. I
Yeah,
looked
'cause
at him. I'm like,
that's
To be
what-
fair, it is Robert
That is what
Pattinson.
you
I
went
could
to
see
go
why
see.
I could see why he was beating off in the theater, right? So.
you know, and I hope that guy's okay, because certainly breathing abnormally. I just, because you know, sometimes people make noise during the film and they're not understanding how loud they're coming across. But I was genuinely concerned at point, or if he's just trying to be funny, or what, he was by himself. And then I'm like, maybe he's special needs, because there was just so much going on with this guy. But that doesn't take anything away from the film. In fact, it adds to it, because Robert Pattinson. So, is it communication, or are we just not like, are we having relationship issues now? Like,
I mean,
maybe I need to
sometimes-
express myself better so that you don't feel isolated.
You know, it's been a hard journey. No pun intended.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it also could be, you know, maybe if you weren't so ugly, it would help.
Says the man that is a strawberry ice cream cone. Okay, at McDonald's.
say, I
ice
don't
cream
know.
machine broke. Okay.
Women love
Which one
strawberry
is he
ice
addressing?
I know what
Are
you're
we
talking
both ugly? What?
Yeah.
Brandon's very like judgmental.
What do you mean, yeah?
Because he, you know, he lives in that space. You know, it's a contest for him.
Hey, love strawberry ice cream.
You know,
he's
Brandon,
like, I'll run with it. You know,
yeah,
that's something
but
about
it's-
Brandon I admire.
Hey, you are what you eat. Ice cream is
So I just want to point out, gentlemen, you know, I wasn't sure going into this how much I would appreciate it, because I know everyone's saying that this is on cue, or on par rather, with the Dark Knight trilogy, and I'm like thinking, okay, this movie's got to be phenomenal. Sitting through the theater, that first opening sequence, and I'm sure this is what we're gonna go into spoilers, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Are
yeah.
we
We're
doing a
spoilers.
war?
Perfect.
Well,
Okay.
Spoiler,
So spoiler
warning,
warning.
though. Yeah, spoiler warning right now.
I was
If
gonna
you're
say,
listening, you're watching, and you have not seen the movie and you are planning to, get the
Yeah,
fuck
cut
out
that
of
out.
here. Get out of here.
Just leave. Get out the window. Come on.
Climb out
Before
the
the
fucking
penguin
window.
shoots you. Before
Yeah, he's
Falco
gonna-
gets you.
Yeah,
Ah!
he's gonna fucking blast you, man. It's fucking crazy. It's chaos.
That's
out here.
right.
It's
That's
fucking
right.
ridiculous.
Hey. Shout out. Bruce Wayne's dead.
Wow. Okay. So, you know, I really like what they did with that. I'm not really like a comic book like nerd like that. I don't know all the details
Oh,
about
my.
shit. I'm not. I don't know all the
Oh, my.
details about shit, but I watched a video and I found that apparently this movie had taken a lot of inspiration from like alternate Batman timelines and stories, and
True.
implemented that, which was pretty cool. So. That's all I knew about it. I watched a spoiler-free review by Angry Video Game Nerd before I went to go see it, and he loved it, of course.
Oh, but
And,
he was still doing videos.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
Weird.
Right.
Yep. So, Yeah, man. All right. So now that Eli, so I'm sorry. Go right ahead. So you were jumping right into something. So what was it you were?
Oh no, that's cool. I was just gonna say like,
No, I think
where
that's
I
what-
was.
I think your point was made.
Well, actually, I had a different point. I have two pencils, two different
Oh.
points.
Yeah, go for it.
So basically, I was just sort of, I'm watching it, and then you have this nice kind of dark, kind of eerie narration going into it, very Watchmen vibe, and I was okay. I was on board with it, and then I really liked how that opening sequence took place, where you see that gang of people, and they had the corpse face paint on. Although I do think it's an homage to the Joker, just a subtle Easter egg,
Yeah.
It is.
right? And honestly, I like the way they acted because I felt like it seemed authentic. Like, I'll be honest, if I was in the subway and I saw those guys there, I would feel uncomfortable. I'd be like, oh, okay, bunch of dudes acting really rowdy. Just mental note.
I'd be too busy masturbating.
That too. But see, get
As
home
you
at
do
least
in the
first,
subway.
right?
Get home in
No,
this
as
first.
you do on the subway.
As you do in the movie theater.
As you do.
Yeah, that too.
Just. You and the guy who sat next to me would have a lot in common.
Hey,
In
yeah,
fact,
you know,
in
too
fact,
much
how
in
do I
common.
know?
sat next to.
I did get
How
a
do you
good
know
look
I
at him,
wasn't?
but how do I know he's not you?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good point.
exactly.
Yeah, Brandon. Does he know? That's not you.
Does he
You
know?
say you live in South Connecticut, but I believe you live in North Connecticut. So, anyways,
That would explain a lot of things that I've experienced myself. So go right ahead. I'm sorry.
no. Listen, I just want to say that opening sequence where you're hearing like the subtle, not even so subtle, really, just the heavy footsteps, just boom, boom.
Oh yeah, yeah, I like that.
And then the
That's
way
good.
he walks, I noticed that his very body language is so different than any other Batman because he has such a demanding kind of footstep pattern to him. Whereas I feel like the regular Batmans are kind of just cool, doing their thing. He just almost came across, I don't want to say villainous, but he definitely had the
Authoritative.
demeanor.
Authoritative.
What's that?
I think authoritative, right? That's
Yeah.
the best way to look at it for me, at least. That's what
Well,
I
he
got
did
from
play. He did play a vampire at one point. So I mean,
it. That has nothing to do with.
Oh god, no.
authoritative.
See, that's not a vampire. That's made up. None of that happened. That was all in our minds.
none of that
Twilight never
happened?
existed.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Nosferatu. Nosferatu.
Okay.
Anyways, we're gathered
What if
here
he
today
ended-
to not talk about Twilight.
Not to be off topic, but like, what if he ends up playing Morbius? How would you?
Oh
feel?
no, they already chose Jared Leto.
I'm just saying, like, what happens if something changes and
He-
we're like,
I-
oh,
Sounds like you want that to happen, Brandon.
I just want Eli to see Robert Pattinson in his full vampire glory. You know what I mean?
Morbius is cool. So I think that would be a proper demonstration of a vampire, as opposed to a girl
And
trying to
then they
choose
made
between
Morbius
banging a
sparkly.
werewolf or a vampire.
And then they made Morbius sparkly.
So moving along, I really enjoyed how Batman beat up the guys in the subway, and my God, he was aggressive. I mean, that first opening scene, he's like, "I need to prove a point," and then like, I don't think I'm not gonna lie. I think he beat that first guy harder than he beat anybody up the entire movie.
Yeah, he
I
really
don't know.
didn't
There
go-
was one time where he beat the living shit out of a random goon, like up on the rafters.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
remember
Fuck.
when he went, I don't even know what that was. I guess you call it the bat serum. I don't know much about that, but I know he like went roid rage for like a split second, and he just started beating
Yeah.
the shit. I was like, God damn.
That's got to be like some
Yeah.
kind of adrenaline rush too, because he had just taken a shotgun to the chest, and
Didn't he shoot with adrenaline? Wasn't that like just straight adrenaline that he shot up?
I don't know.
oh,
I
you're
don't
right,
know. I
yeah.
couldn't
So
tell
he
you.
was already on life and death mode, and then he like shot himself up with that. Must have been adrenaline, or I guess if it's a comic related thing, the bat serum.
Because that's what my actually, you know, now that we're talking about dates, I mean, that's what my date told me was that it looked like adrenaline. So we'll see.
Your date told you. Wait, no. I'm getting this in the wrong context right now. You know what? Okay, moving forward, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, Lord help me. Okay, Buddha bless me, please. Save me from this fucking chaos. Okay,
Odin,
so
let
gentlemen.
me continue sowing my chaos.
No,
Thank you. All right.
no, not here. Okay, you know, Brandon, to the tide with you. Okay,
Well, to the wind with you.
fair point. Okay, but that will be my inevitability, and that's okay.
So let's meet on an island, and I'll be that island.
So,
All right, Mr. Flower Petal, calm down.
All right, so moving forward, gentlemen. So
I don't even know what that means, but
yeah,
that's
what
got
does that mean? Okay, so
flower petal.
So, all right, so let's go
You're
for
just like floating in the breeze. Little flower petal.
So I want to cover. I want to say that was definitely, I feel that was very much Joker with the face paint, and I was thinking about like the.
I'm telling you, that's what
I know I think it's a loose connection because you could tell the new Batman takes place in like the modern era, and like the Joker's probably like the '60s. And something like I don't know. There's been rumors. There's been rumors that
Jokers.
Yeah, but it's not that Joker.
It's not the original Joker. Yeah.
No, I'm saying the Joker from the most recent Joker movie.
Oh. You were trying to make
because they're both very, very dark, and I feel like they're both kind of somewhat close to each other's releases. And I'm thinking, this is all theory stuff, but I'm like, what if they were connected in some way? And I was thinking,
I could see it. Maybe the Joker. Maybe that movie happened. Like,
I was thinking earlier. Like maybe there's like an inspired next generation of like Joker, and that's why people are still wearing.
That's what I was about to say.
You know what I mean? And then there's like, now you have this modern Joker because we didn't see anything.
Yeah, Joker became like an idea.
And that's exactly what I was thinking. Was like at the end of that movie, it was an idea. Like the man himself could have died, but you'd have inspired followers, just like if you saw with a fucking Riddler and his followers, right?
Yep. True.
I'm like, that's a possibility, right?
That is solid. That is a solid idea, and I did hear reports of the Joker movie kind of going off of that idea, that he would be the original concept that would inspire what would be the Joker. And there is a lot of clues that could be true, but there was one inconsistency between the two movies connecting. If you look at Bruce Wayne's father, the actor who played him in the Joker, and then if you look at the actor that played Bruce Wayne's father in the new movie, two different people.
That's fair.
That's the only thing, and I don't want to shoot it down because that's a great idea. Although, if I'm being honest, I appreciated Joaquin Phoenix's Joker so much. I would have appreciated him becoming a villain because he had such a beautiful backstory, right? And that would have been great to see him become this nihilistic crime boss in the next movie. But I think what they're going with is that inspiration idea, like you're talking about.
You'd be too old by the time back.
Yeah. I mean,
but I think you're not wrong.
Is that all you got?
Okay, so that's fair. So in conclusion, I'm assuming that the Joker is loosely maybe connected, just maybe an ideology. It could be a completely separate universe, just judging by the Bruce Wayne actor. Of course, that's a good point that I didn't think about, that Eli pointed out there.
Maybe there'll be a Joker 2, but set in the Robert Pattinson universe, though.
Yeah, that could be.
I think it's gonna be separate, right?
Yeah,
separate, but maybe together. Who knows, right?
Maybe like a Joker arc that's like, canon to the Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to think that it could be loosely connected, of course. But moving forward from that, I'm interested in what you gentlemen felt about the overall message of the movie. Like, did you get the theme? Did you get a message from the movie? Because I did, certainly. Like, what was something you took away from the movie? Because good cinema, which by the way, to me, and I'm not saying I'm a professional, but to me, this is good cinema. Like, it's not just a Batman movie.
Bar.
It's like actual good cinema, Yeah. So tell me what theme you got from it. Like, what was the theme to you? The lesson, the takeaway.
Puzzles are good.
Well, no, I do think the theme was very much kind of, a big thing about this was how Thomas Wayne wanted to donate $1 billion towards a charitable cause, and how the city officials and criminals all got their hands involved in it, and there was a lot of corruption. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's a side of transparency with...
That not everything is black and white.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I feel like this also breaks down to how I think greed is a big deal, and also just kind of being transparent like having the government officials be transparent with spending and what they're doing with the money, and yeah, I guess greed. I mean, I guess the idea of not allowing money to kind of dictate you was kind of a big theme, and it's interesting because then you see how Bruce Wayne didn't really do anything with like charitable wise after his father passed away, so that was an interesting kind of connection there.
I didn't think he was gonna do anything really greedy. I mean, he didn't seem like the greedy type, you know.
Who, Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, not saying he's greedy. I mean, I know he's kind of reclusive and doesn't really want to interact with the outside world aside from dealing with like thugs on the street and criminals. But I just meant like the town officials being like corrupted, and I think just taking shots at government in general and how people can be so easily corrupted.
What'd you think about Bruce Wayne, and what'd you think about Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne? That whole thing, dynamic. Selena Kyle.
Selena Kyle? Is that okay? So she I thought she did great. I never really was crazy in Catwoman before, but I thought she did a great job as Catwoman.
I know. What do you think of the dynamic between the two of them, though? What do you think that has to offer to the movie theme?
You know, I just want to interject that I think that that was like the parallel between them, of course, was very obvious, but also like you could see the visualization from the cinematography at the end of the movie was fucking brilliant that way. When they both were on the motorcycles and they were going parallel to each other, and then at the end they both went their separate ways, right?
Yep. See.
And that was brilliant to me. That was brilliant. And
yeah,
you know, on top of all that, so you guys pretty much discussed the themes you saw. So for me, the theme actually is something completely different. The theme is something that actually hits me at a personal level, which I won't discuss in too much detail on broadcast here, but what I will say is trauma bonding and what that is. Now, trauma bonding is essentially, this is a real life phenomenon where it's people that have been through very hard experiences share that in common, and then they see that in other people, and they're gravitated towards people like that. And like to stay close to them, even if it's harmful for them at times, you know what I mean? Just such like, you know, abusive relationships, unfortunate, you know, like even toxic friendships that happen, you know, and that's a lot of what happens in life sometimes. And like you could see that a lot between actually Batman and Catwoman for sure, right? Definitely. They both mentioned the stray line, right? They're both strays, right? Mm-hmm. And then keep in mind also the Riddler was also doing
part
that
of that
with Batman. Too. Yeah, same with Joker too. Like Joker, this has been a long known thing about Joker too. Is like Joker does that same thing with Batman, and that's why they're like
trauma.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's pretty interesting, like it's teaching you about that just because you have something in common with somebody, you know, especially trauma, it doesn't mean that it's always going to be the best route to go. I think that's what I took that from it, and I found that to be very, very, very smart. I like that.
Yep. Let it be known that just because
well said.
Your banana looks the same as the other person's banana doesn't mean you're in the same bundle.
That's actually really good words, Brandon.
You know,
that's good words.
I will say too, the way the Riddler broke down the difference between Bruce Wayne being an orphan and the Riddler being an orphan was so profound. Like, being an orphan is not growing up in a mansion, it's 20 kids to a room. And like, the way he was going in depth about that hit me. Obviously, I didn't grow up an orphan, but it made me consider myself in that position and how that must feel like to be in his shoes and to grow up that way and to feel so unwanted and unloved and having to kind of petition myself to be adopted by two adults, and how awful and difficult that must be to put myself out there like that.
I mean, if Bruce Wayne grew up in different circumstances, he could have ended up just like the Riddler.
Exactly. It would have just been a Batman that is just like the Riddler. Exactly. And yeah, that's a very good point. And it made me think about how, you know, like just Batman being this icon of like, he said in the beginning, right? He's vengeance, right? And vengeance in life is this thing that only destroys. It's a destructive term. You know what I mean? Even if it's for the sake of, like, because somebody did something to you and you are doing it back to them. What is it? The term is an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, right?
Agreed.
And to me, that was also another big, like, theme in the movies. I just have to give, like, major props to the filmmakers and the writers, like the whole team, everybody, because it was such a phenomenal, like, deep story. I haven't seen like people that don't even watch superhero stuff. That's just good cinema. Like, it's not even just a Batman movie. Just like Joker, people didn't even fucking care about, like, the Joker character. People watched it because it was a good movie, and
Yep.
I think that's something to be said and appreciated because DC's
I
been
think,
on a
honestly,
streak
I
now,
think
which
this
is
might
good.
be a turning point for movies. You know, where they kind of were a little shitty beforehand, but now they're starting to gain more quality. I think, in a way, they're
Like
gaining
with-
their quality back.
With, like, what kind of, like, superhero movies in particular?
Just movies in general, to be
Oh, okay.
honest.
Yeah, I mean, lately cinema's been taking a hit because it's been mostly, you know, we all know, everybody has said this a million times, it's reboots, remakes, fucking sequels, right? And, you know, a lot of people are scared to do original takes or ideas. I think this really all started, though, if you really, like, look back, specifically in the superhero genre. I like to think that Logan was the first to, like, be bold like that. Because Logan was, like, this super dark finale to Wolverine. Like, you would think that a hero like Wolverine, sure, he's already kind of a dark hero, but, like, in the X-Men, you know, it was a lot more fun. But, like, when Logan was released, it was like suddenly, like, what the hell's going on? Like, everything's really fucked up now. Like, the world's, like, at this, like, anti-mutant state and all this stuff. And I just like to think that, you know, Logan is definitely probably a cornerstone in, like, approaching darker themes and more realistic themes in superhero movies, for sure.
You know, it's interesting. I saw Logan in the theaters, and there was a good amount of people in the crowd. And, you know, it deals with Professor X dealing with clear signs of mental deterioration, and just kind of highlighting how bold this movie is and dealing with real life circumstances. People in the crowd didn't know how to deal with that. So actually, a lot of people were laughing when Professor X was having his mental breakdown moment. Or no, I don't want to say mental breakdown moments. When he's showing his signs of mental deterioration, people were laughing. And it was such an uncomfortable moment because you're watching this going, this isn't meant to be funny, but people were laughing. And it was such an odd moment because that happened throughout the film. Anytime Professor X was having those moments, people found it funny. And I think... on one hand, I'm a big proponent of humor, obviously, and I certainly think that humor is a way we can kind of course through life and get through things, because certainly there's a lot of trauma we develop over the course of our lives. But at the same time, like you're saying, in dealing with real life circumstances, it's not very funny. And I know humor needs to be designed a certain way for it to be funny, right? It needs to be crafted and delivered a certain way. It's not very funny to see.
Were there
What's
any,
that?
Were there any, like, I'm trying to remember the scenes from Logan. Were there any, like, audio cues that depicted any kind of humorous response? Or
I just, like, one scene in particular, he's circling around in his chair and he's, like, repeating himself. And maybe it's just because I've seen firsthand the signs of dementia and Alzheimer's. So it's something real to me, and it's something that terrifies me. And I know it's something that you could develop. There's a bunch of ways you could develop those types of diseases, but one of them is actually dependent on proper sleep schedule. Throughout my life, I've always struggled with that. So maybe it hits different for me because it's a real life fear of mine to strengthen my cognitive health, but also to not develop those diseases down the road. You know, not trying to get too personal in my situation there, but just saying in the sense of it's interesting seeing how people deal with certain scenes, you know. Hell, I remember when I watched Infinity War, and some people like clapped when Thanos like stabbed Iron Man, and I was so pissed off. I was like, how are you cheering that Thanos stabbed Iron Man? Now I know Thanos is the big bad and he's cool, but not Iron Man. Not Iron Man. That is not a cool moment to stab Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, you must have really liked what came next then.
Liked what?
You must have really liked what came after that then.
Thanos
I actually did kind of like that.
Clapped.
I'll be honest, I love that was okay. Logan was bold, and then having Infinity War end with the snap of the fingers, that was bold. That was like, this is Disney doing this, right? Disney owns Marvel. Yep. They're not the kind of people to leave you on a somber note like that. They're the kind to kind of show trauma in the very beginning and show the character's revival. They're not just willing to usually go.
Did Disney own them at that time, though?
Yeah. They've owned them since want to say like literally after Iron Man came out, pretty much, or Iron Man 3 came out. It's like,
yeah, it was around that time. Disney has like so many big properties, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But just to get back on segue, I do appreciate what you said though. There, I respect that a lot, and I think that I can relate with that too. With the Huntington's disease, which also takes on like dementia and stuff like that, is like a part of that disease. And like especially later in life when people start losing their mental, cognitive abilities. So I get where you're coming from with that, and trust me, like I know what that feels like, and I felt the same way when I was watching that movie, and I was like, I know this is about Batman, I just wanted to, this is a good topic.
Yeah.
But like when you watch somebody deteriorate like that, firsthand, it doesn't make it funny. It makes it not funny anymore. So I kind of, comedy is subjective, right? And so I get that. Like, I mean, crazy old man circling around, that's probably the first thing that popped into people's head. They didn't think it was like anything like that, you know what I mean?
Sure. Maybe they don't have family members they've dealt with that, so maybe to them it's not something to take seriously. Because I get that too. I feel humor should be, it's hard, like you're saying, humor's so subjective, so I try not to like stifle it. But it's difficult. It's hard to kind of gauge what is funny versus what's not. It depends on the person.
For sure.
True.
For sure.
I mean, it also depends on the director's intent on what. So, like, if there is a tense moment, but at the same time there is audio to indicate that it's more of a funny, lighthearted, tense moment where you can laugh at it, then the audio will do that. And audio in and of itself is like at least 80% of the movie. I think, like all the emotional responses, all the things, like the battle scenes and stuff in movies, like, or the really triumphant, heroic scenes. Like, if you take out the audio piece of that and just watch the scene itself, it doesn't elicit the same reaction as it would if you had the audio behind it.
It's true. Audio direction and visual direction being harmonious is absolutely essential, and everything from that to cut direction, scenes. So yeah, I get that absolutely makes sense. But moving forward with Batman, just because I want to stay on topic here, though that was very valuable.
Yes,
gentlemen, what was your just like? Let's just get right into the fun, like the most fun aspect of it, man. The action, like that shit was kick ass, bro. That shit was hard. Like you felt every blow that Batman fucking like smacked into somebody. I was on the edge of my seat. That, and I loved like that. In a lot of years we haven't gotten like a lot of live action Batman action, if that makes sense. Like I feel like Dark Knight was okay with that, but like I still felt like he didn't get enough. And with this, like, you get 3 hours of just Batman kicking ass in real life. Like, it was just the coolest shit. So, what say you, gentlemen?
It was cool, I will say, but at the same time, I wish there was more. Like, I wish the choreography was more theatrical and more like, they definitely did a more grounding choreography when it comes to the dance, like the fighting. It's definitely more grounded in reality, but Batman in and of itself is known to be able to do crazy things when it comes to fighting, and like he's styled in many different styles of kung fu and whatever, because he was trained by Raj Al Ghul, right? So he should be able to do way more than what I thought Robert Pattinson's Batman could do in that. Or at least that was my takeaway from it. I don't know about you guys. I guess it's more of an unpopular opinion.
That's the floor is yours, Eli.
It's interesting. What's that?
How you gonna follow that up, huh?
I'm gonna add to what you said. I'm gonna say that you're wrong, and I didn't listen to anything you said. No, I'm kidding. Here's the thing. It did leave me wanting more in some instances. Like, okay, to be honest, I did donate the day of, so I was a bit tired near the end. I was a bit like, I kind of want to go home. Appreciating the film, but other circumstances, I'm tired. But in some ways, yeah, the movie did kind of leave me wanting more. Man, I guess. Okay. You know what? I'll just kind of go into a mental note I had watching the film. I still don't know how to digest the Riddler. He's interesting, and I think the actor did a great job. But something about the way the Riddler spoke, I never really quite connected with the Riddler. I saw a lot of Dark Knight shades, like how they would submit these videos of people being killed or tortured, and the Joker would do that. I thought the Dark Knight did better on that than the Riddler. I also, when he finally meets the Riddler, and they were like speaking, everything he said was so drawn out. Like, he was so upset when things weren't going well. He's like, no! This wasn't supposed to happen this way! Like, everything was so drawn out, and I'm like, God, please stop it. Just speak quicker, please.
I have to disagree with you on that, because I feel like I thought it was like, sure, it was kind of funny depending on who you are, right? Like, it's like just like we talked about with the other movie, right? So it's like, it was kind of funny, but at the same time, it was also kind of scary that he was like, the way he was kind of moaning about it, like he was just so zoned into that. And it was
it was very
I just want to stress, I didn't find him funny, I found him frustrating. That's what I meant. Like, because there was that eerie element. I just think it's a thing with comedic. I didn't care that he killed people. I cared that he spoke funny.
Summary of Batman in 2 minutes.
Everybody else watching that probably was like, "Oh, this is weird. Why is this guy like moaning like that?" Eli's just like, "Shut up."
Yeah. Like, stop it. Start doing sign language.
Godman, Mr. Platelet Godman is like, me tired. Me watch Batman. Me watch Batman. You yell, me no like.
You
stop.
My eternal dialogue throughout the day just summed up in 4 sentences.
He's got the flip stick. He throws it at the screen.
I go to flip it. I'm like, no. Yeah, no. I like that he plotted.
The Riddler's head as he's moaning.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why was he singing and moaning? God, why? It was so weird.
His plan was really thought out, like very well done.
Planning it from the very
but you know what? I did think it was a good play on social commentary. How, like, not only did he appeal to people on the internet, but they joined in near the end.
Right.
I was like, ooh, shit.
Yeah, he's like, they took I like the modern approach they took with him, right? Because Jim Carrey was like the cartoon version of him, like the comic version of him back in the day, which he did a great job for that version of the character. That shit is so entertaining.
Jim Carrey's like his Riddler has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, for sure, because it's funny as fuck. But this one is more like grounded in reality, right? Just like the Nolan trilogy is more grounded in reality. Although I found the Nolan trilogy to be more fictional than this one, believe it or not.
Well, yeah, stuff more raw as in reality would be.
Like, this was extremely gritty, more so than even reality, right? But it made it dystopian. But I like that. I thought that was fun. I was like,
I wouldn't say dystopian. I mean, shit.
It's definitely dystopian, bro. Like that.
Look what's happening right now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's fair. Well, good thing I don't go to those cities anymore. So anyway, but Yeah, just basically more or less. It's So okay, so basically the verdict is I thought the action was fucking awesome. Brandon thought rectangles fit into the circle, and
Not what I said.
and Eli said I'm gonna flip this stick so hard that it's going to change my gender, and I think that's beautiful. I respect it.
His gender has already changed. Can't you tell? He's bald
Yeah, I looked
now.
downstairs and I forgot I left some food down there. But another point I wanted to make too was that I wanted to ask you guys about like how did you feel about the plot revolving around you know, the reporter getting snuffed and just Robert Patterson bouncing back and forth between Falcone and Alfred, figuring out the truth of his father's criminal past, if you will.
I don't know. I think I love the approach. I thought it was
what did we like? I'm confused. Like, what do you mean? Like, what did we think
Just
about?
did you enjoy kind of the what's that?
Like, how did we interpret it, or?
Yeah, I guess it is sort of a broad question. I guess how do you feel about on one hand you're learning that in Falcone's words, Bruce Wayne's father is not a Boy Scout, and you're thinking, oh, he's kind of it's a little shady. Like, you're finding out all this dirty laundry about the Waynes. Then he goes to this mafioso boss and finds, confirms it. But then talks to Alfred and just sort of sees that maybe it's not as dark as it seems. It's the same idea, but it's turned around. How did you feel about that journey of figuring out the dirty laundry of the Waynes, from the Riddler, from Falcone, and then from Alfred?
so.
I will say. Oh, you want to go first?
I mean, you could go first.
No, go. No, you're talking now.
You sound very petty, my man. Just go ahead.
Well, since you're already speaking.
Yeah, since you're already talking. All right, Brandon.
Good morning.
If you say so. Good morning. I'll go ahead then. I'll go
I
ahead.
hope the viewers
Brandon.
have no idea what that means.
They will. They will. Anyway.
Good.
Stay tuned.
Good.
Ew.
Shut the fuck up. All right, so basically, I really appreciated that, and like it really showed the duality between Batman and Bruce Wayne as people, because they really are two different people, right? And remember, it took Batman. I remember take the club for an example. Is this like constant? This club, right? 3 times I think he goes to this club, and knocks on the door. The fucking twin guys are there. First time, he's like, "Let me in," and then they're like, "What the fuck?" And then he kicks their ass. And then the next time, he shows up as Bruce Wayne, and he's like, "I'm here to see Falcone." And then they're like, "Oh, look, it's Bruce Wayne," and he sounds like really shaken, which he was at the time. And then like he goes and does his thing. Then he comes back and he's like, and he does a different thing where I think he like is already inside the building and he kicks their ass. Now, to me, that was the journey. Just no,
What a journey it was.
It really was, but on the emotional standpoint of it, like I definitely felt from personal experience, right? You hear things like, for example, you hear things throughout the grapevine of the family, right, or what's left in my circumstance, and you hear stories and you hear sides of stories. You know what I mean? And so you can't take just one story or viewpoint as like the truth, because there's multiple parties involved, you know what I mean? And so when you don't have people filling those gaps, people can change their narrative if they decide to save themselves embarrassment, shame, whatever it may be, right? So that's exactly what that was like to me. It's like watching that, I connected with that on a personal level, because I was like, wow, this is like when I was digging through my personal family history and finding some dirty laundry that I didn't really expect to see, and a lot of it shook me for a long time and changed my world, and thus kind of led to a series of events of me evolving and getting to a mental position where I'm at now. So that's my viewpoint on that. I think that was perfectly well executed. The fact that it resonated with me tells me that it was well done, and that it was just from every step of that journey. I sure do love listening to the GorillaSquadCast. Alfred, play the next episode. Where's Harvey Dent? I don't know. Alfred, play the next episode of the GorillaSquadCast. What do you mean? Oh, they're releasing... Oh, okay, so they're talking about the new movie, yeah. Oh, so they're talking about the new movie in 2 parts? Oh, okay. Well, let me know when it comes out, Alfred. I really like that shit.